Hey guys, welcome back to the Hat House. Appreciate y'all tuning back in today. And today's video is all about how we listed 100 hats in 3 hours. Today we're going to go over the four main components to getting this done. The first is, what equipment do we use? The second one is, how do we take the pictures? The third one is, how do we make the listing? And the last one is, how do we put away the inventory? We'll go through those in a little bit more detail in this video. But I also wanted to just give you a little bit of context about our day and how it went trying to get this done. I get up every morning around 6 to 6:30. I go ahead and take our kids to school. While I'm gone, Mary starts taking all the pictures for the day. By the time that I get back, about an hour later, I have plenty of hats that I need to start listing. So I'm ready to hit the ground running as soon as I get back. After that happens, then she usually starts picking the orders, and then we ship together. Now, on this particular day, we had a hard stop at noon because we had to take our son to a doctor's appointment at 1 o'clock. So we were really on a time crunch to get this done. So let's get to the living room and see how we did it. All right, first let's talk about the equipment that we use. And I'm really going to try not to get into the weeds on any one particular subject. There could probably be a 20-minute video made about any one of these on its own. So be sure to leave any comments or questions that you have down below. I'll be happy to ask those. I do want to give a good overview, though, about everything that we do to get this completed. First, the equipment. The box. Now that box was a 30 by 10 by 10 box. We took the box, we cut it in half, so it made two boxes out of that one box, and that's what we place our hats in. The second is the hat shaper. It's like a $5 hat shaper that you get from Amazon. We put it in every single hat, so it makes the hat look like it would if it was sitting on your head, and also just kind of fills it out, so when you're taking pictures, it's not hiding anything. The customer could see all the way around the hat, and it just really helps with that aspect. The third is going to be the lint roller. And if you've ever sold hats, you know how important the lint roller is. Every single hat's going to have to be lint rolled. You're going to have to do a final sweep over of the hat before you take your pictures of it. Now, the last one is the phone. Now, I use an old Galaxy S8. I use this phone for a lot of reasons. One, it's not my personal phone. When we take pictures with this phone, I don't have pictures of my children on it. I don't have pictures that I want to save. It is only used for eBay. And it's an S8, Galaxy S8. The camera on it is just fine. They haven't done that many advancements in cameras, so you probably really can't even tell the difference between if I took it with my S8 or if I took it with my brand new S23. So the other aspect of using a Galaxy, it's super easy just to plug it into the computer and to download the pictures. You just plug it in. You can download them to OneDrive, and it doesn't have to go up to the cloud. It doesn't have to go to iCloud. It doesn't have to go to Google Drive. You can download them straight to your computer and take the pictures from there. The last thing that I wanted to mention was the coffee table. Any good solid background will work. Maybe you end up deciding you want to go with the white background. Fine. I like the natural wood background. I don't really want it to look like a big production or studio. I want the hat to look like it would in its natural environment. If it was sitting on your coffee table, what would it look like? So when the customer takes it out of the box and they set it on their table, it looks exactly the same as the pictures that I took it. The lighting, I am a little bit blessed with. I have overhead lighting in this room. It keeps it really well lit. I don't put any additional lighting. If you are in a darker room, you may want to think about getting a lighting kit. I can link the basic one to Amazon in the description if you want to check that out. But let's get to how we take the pictures. Okay, let's take a look at our picture process. Mary first starts by taking a picture of the box number on every single box. That way, when I get the pictures downloaded, I can see where she started and what box she is working in. Then we take the hat out. We just put the form inside the hat so it looks good. And then we start taking our pictures. We take about 8 to 9 pictures of every hat from every single side of the hat. So there's 4 pictures as we work around the hat and we get those done. And then we take another close up of the logo and kind of a side shot of the hat, which sometimes looks good. And sometimes if it has a side patch on it or something, works really well. Then we take a picture of the inside of the hat. Any tags that are on the inside that can identify the hat, we make sure to take a picture of those, and then also of the bell area and the sweatband area. We take a picture of that because that's where the hat might get the dirtiest. Okay, let's talk about the listing process. The first thing that we're going to look at is our template. And I use a template for every listing except media and books. It's really better to probably scan those barcodes, but on most other items that you're going to sell on eBay, I recommend using a template. Here, I just have this template. I called it New Hats. So we're going to go in and edit this template to show you how we kind of have the template set up. Um, of course, there's nothing in the title yet. The custom SKU, this is why I start with a brand new box every single time. On the custom SKU, for each set of 25 hats that we're listing, I have a new custom SKU. The next box is going to be 28. I list those 28 H278. I just list all the items that Mary took pictures of in that box, and I don't ever get them mixed up because I know that set of 25 went into H278. Next is the category hats. I always start everything in hats. If it ends up being NFL hat, an MLB hat, just I'll walk through it in the listing. But here, if you just put it into hats and then you have to change it to MLB hats, it really carries everything over and auto fills the listing anyways when you have to change the category. I don't recommend going back out and having to change the template that you're using to list an MLB hat compared to something else. And really, almost anything that I list, if I want to use my shipping policy for that item, I will just use the hat template and then just change the category. And eBay knows, and it fills in the item specifics that you have typed out in the title anyways. The second part here is the store category. I use whatever month I am listing in. I put it in November. Of course, there's all item specifics. The way I write the title will just fill these in for me. Last, I use a description. The hat pictured is the one you're going to get. It's pre-owned. If you have any questions about the hat, let me know. I typically respond instantly. Then I have my pre-filled instructions for ordering. The number one question you will always get, will this be shipped in a box? So it's the first one. And then I start everything in a price bucket here. And pricing is always a huge question. You really have to think about how a hat, and it falls into, is it a $5 hat? Is it a $10 hat? $15, $20, $30 hat. And this is where the knowledge comes in. I start everything in this price bucket and I price up and down from there. If it's a $10 hat, then I'll price it for $9.99. If it's a $15 hat, then I price it for $14.95. If it's a $30 hat, I price it for $28.95. And really, we're looking at the price buckets for these hats. I don't really go in and look, oh, it sold for $12.71. I need to price it for $12.71. No, I just price it at $14.95. That's in the ballpark. I have a reputation already. I might get the full price, or somebody might offer me $12, or they might use my coupon and get it for $12. So I really just put them into these price buckets. Pricing research, while it is important, it cannot paralyze you from actually getting the listing completed. Then the shipping policy, and then the payment policies, and we save that template. All right, so let's get into listing this hat. First, we're going to upload the photos. As you can see, we have all of our pictures of the hats that we took today. And Mary took a picture of the box. It was actually the last picture. We're just going to verify that we are on 278 before we get started. And we are. So then we're going to go up and we're going to select our first set of pictures. This is a Kansas City Chiefs AFC Champion hat by 47 brand. And I write every single title from scratch. Kansas City Chiefs hat, cap, strap back, 47 brand. It is red and it is 2020 AFC Champions. I have a few left, so I have a few keywords that I can put in here. I can put in NFL, I can put in dad because it's a dad hat, and my listing's done. Here's where we look at the item category. So I wouldn't put any NFL, MLB, NBA into just the hat category. We want to change it. So we're going to go change. It pops up first one. It knows Kansas City Chiefs is NFL. So we select that. And then look, everything is already pre-filled. Brand 47, color is red. It's a hat because I put hat cap, and it's Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to select all those. We're going to go down here. The only thing we're missing really here is it's one size. It's men's. I will take the title that I wrote, copy it, put it down here, paste it in to make sure the customer, if they look at the description, that matches. I don't ever pay attention to the pricing here, really. If I want to search something, this is how you search it. You can click on the picture, bring up the big picture of the item, right-click on it, search with the Google Images, and then select it. Look, and then it comes in with AFC Champion hats right here. This one's for sale on eBay for $11.77. Google Lens is a very powerful thing. You can see what people have already listed. We could click on this listing, and they have it new, $11.77, $5.60 shipping. I will probably still come in at around $14.95 on this hat, because with my coupon, it would probably take the hat pretty close to the price that this person has it. And plus, I just have a better selection than most people. So I can demand a little bit better pricing sometimes, especially if people are looking for multiple hats. So there you go. We did our research on the hat. I probably wouldn't have researched this one at all. I probably would have just put $14.95 or $18.95 on it. But if you want to research it, Google Lens is really quick. We've got our description done. We're going to put this in as $14.95 instead of $18.95, and we're going to list the item. All right, now that all of our listings are done, we're just going to put away the inventory. Mary's going to go through, look at the boxes. We're going to put them in order on our shelves here. She's going to take and put each one of these boxes in where they go, so we know exactly where to go when it's time to pick them. As we look at our custom SKU, we know which box to go to. All right, now we got the hats put away from all the listing that we did. I did want to address a couple of things from the last video. I kind of talked about our inventory system and the reason why we do things the way that we do them. We started with empty boxes. We always want to start with the empty box whenever we start listing, because we're going to list 100 items. If you went back and then tried to put those 100 items into the boxes that you already have, it's going to be an extraordinary amount of time to have to put those items away at the end. So you always want to start with an empty box. I always start with an empty box. Everything that you listed that day is in one box. All those things are together. If you lose something, typically it's easier to find it as well. And you can go back and kind of track down what box that might have been in. Now, and then the other comment last time when I talked about this was really about, well, you don't want to touch your inventory more than once. You want to be done with it. And I understand maybe if you only have a couple hundred items, but we're talking about 4,000 items here. And then with the space that we have to constantly be condensing. Everyone has to condense their inventory. Walmart has to condense their inventory. Target has to condense their inventory. Inventory does have to be touched more than once, typically. Condensing or pushing down to make room for the new inventory is something that just has to happen. Now, our process for condensing the inventory is pretty simple, and I'll show you that. Okay, so we're ready to condense inventory, it's really a simple process. If we need another box, we go to a box that doesn't have very many hats in it. This one has maybe 5 hats in it. And all we do is we take the hats from this box, and then we'll find another box that's pretty sold down. We'll take the hats from one box, we'll put it into the other box. We'll write down these 2 numbers on the boxes, and when I get back into the computer, I'll just change the custom SKU from everything I took out of H244 or 244, and I put it into H245. So everything gets moved over that way. Then we have a fresh, clean, empty box. Now, I understand if you're doing tubs and totes of a bunch of different items and different things, it's going to be harder to condense. It's kind of the good thing about being niched down with everything being the same. It's really easy to condense it and to keep your inventory condensed in the new boxes and to be able to list them. That's just the way that we kind of work our inventory. That's why there's sometimes holes in the racks, because we've condensed things and we have those boxes ready to go ahead and put our new inventory in. Okay, I really wanted to wrap up and fill in any gaps, questions that may come up in the video. So it takes about a minute and a half for me to do one listing. And it takes Mary about a minute and a half to do a photo of one hat. Of course, these vary. Most of these hats today that I listed, the 100 hats that I did, they were all really basic hats. They weren't vintage or needed a lot of research or might have been worth hundreds of dollars. These were basic hats, so I didn't do a lot of research on most of them. I was able to just hit submit on them. So it really makes the listing time faster when you have those. But of course, the profitability is not always the best if they don't require a lot of research. And then the picture taking process really just depends on the condition of the hat. If it takes a lot of lint rolling, takes a lot to get it clean after we've done our washing process. It could take 2 or 3 minutes to get a hat sometimes ready, but these were in pretty good condition and Mary was able to fly through them. So we got everything done in about 3 hours today. And then we, of course, had to get our items picked and we had to get them shipped to be able to get out by noon. So it was a busy day here at the Hat House, and we'll see you again soon.